Hi.
Hi everyone.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, we are back here slightly early, 1 minute early. Everything goes, touch wood, like very smoothly tonight. Nicole seems to know exactly what she's doing.
I think so. I need to confirm whether we see everything.
Yes.
Once we
Okay.
actually hear that the sound and the audio
Yeah,
and the visual is okay. Anybody there? Give us some feedback.
yeah, normally when everything's so smoothly, right? Okay, it will put me into like a doubting stage. Because it's Nicole ma. All right, let's see if there's anyone there. Right. Hi, Jin Xia. Okay,
Hi.
hi. Thank you for tuning in with us. Okay, do let us know if you can hear us clearly. Okay, and you can see the visual clearly as well. Tonight's session, we're going to talk about the upcoming eclipse. Okay, the impact of it. How is it relating to astrology? How is it going to impact us? What are the things of the do's and don'ts that you have heard about? All right, and what can we do about it? Okay, and yeah, okay, in all sorts of like preparations for the upcoming eclipse itself. Okay, and I'm going to share with you is like why this eclipse is like so impactful, so powerful, because every year we have eclipse every single year. But why this year's one is like in a way so impactful, so powerful? What does it mean? Okay, how is it going to impact us? Okay, do you feel it? All right. So later we're going to do discussions. I would prefer tonight's session itself to be more interactive. All right. So if you have heard about all like pantang larang, you know, the do's and don'ts, okay, about eclipse, okay, do share it with us. Hi, Susim, Chang Feng, okay, I see a
Yep.
lot of familiar
Hi.
names
Hi
here.
everyone.
Leanne, Poching, okay, Shok Yi, Abracadabra, okay, CW Ang there, okay, Melissa Lim, okay, Ikang, Wong Ikang there, Jen Ho, Mr. Lim, right, thank you for tuning in.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a side. Nicole, can you delete the duplicate? I accidentally shared into the same timeline. The
Okay,
same
or you can
page.
do it later as well,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter,
Just
okay.
so that we don't have people going
Leanne,
on
okay,
both.
miss you too. Hi,
Hi
happy slightly
Leanne.
belated to your mom. Okay, I saw that on her Facebook,
Yeah.
okay, her celebration. All right, okay, so yeah, okay, tonight's session itself, while we are waiting for Gong Yu to actually share, okay, this particular feed itself, okay, on our different platforms, it will be really good as well if you can actually help us to share this out on your Facebook so it can actually reach out to more people, okay. So congrats again, yeah, Pocheng, okay, for, yeah, braving yourself, okay, doing that consult. I mean, last night I was like really working. I think I was like working up to like 3 something, okay, in the midnight, okay, AM. And yeah, when I browsed through Facebook, okay, that when I saw Poching's message, I was like, oh, okay, I don't mind working later or I don't mind working harder. I guess that those are the rewards, okay, that I get. And I really, really, in a way, it was very, very fulfilling as well. So keep up the good work, okay? Anyway, Poching is actually, she's like, look at that laugh out loud emoji. Yeah, Poching is actually a student, okay, a senior student, which like, I mean, of course, recently she really take that leap of faith, okay, and of course breaking through her fear, okay, into like doing consultation. And tonight is like somehow I see a lot of our Soul's Journey children here.
Nice.
Okay, SP Ngoy is there as well.
Hi.
Right,
Hi
really,
Siu
really
Ping.
good to see all of you. Okay. Okay, who else? Saman Zaidi. Okay, Eileen Gomez is there. Okay, from Philippines. All right. So, have you
Yeah,
finished?
continue. No, continue. There's always a whole bunch.
Yeah. All right. So tonight's session itself, I'm going to share with you as in like this upcoming, okay, eclipse. I'm not sure. Those of you probably all my Soul's Journey students, okay. So chances is you might already felt, okay, the intense energy of the upcoming eclipse. Okay, if you're not too, I would say, how to say, distracted, okay, with our daily day-to-day chores or attachments or samsaric life, like whatever we call it, okay, if you pay attention to the shift of energy, right, chances is like you might already felt, okay, the intensity of the energy, okay, that in a way will be taking its peak, okay, moment next week, okay, during the eclipse itself. So tonight itself, we're going to talk about like, what is this eclipse, okay? It's like, why is it that every time I talk about this eclipse and why I say it's so intense, how is it going to impact? What do you mean by the intensity? I know last week, okay, when I have a calling to actually share about the Guan Yin Oracle card, okay? When the Oracle card is shared, it was amazing. I see a lot of reshare. I see a lot of comments. Okay, thanks to those of you who might be here as well, who commented of how the cards resonated with you. Now, to be honest with you, I mean, to be frank, I mean, I already written it out there on the status, okay? I do not write out those, in a way, oracles, okay? It's actually taken from the Kuan Yin Oracle, okay, by Elena Fairchild, okay, which is one of my favorites, I would say, okay, oracle itself. I just had this calling, okay, due to the intense energy that I have this calling that we should do an oracle, in a way, reading, right? Because due to the upcoming energy of the eclipse itself, okay, the oracle reading itself, you will see the intensity and also the accuracy in it. So if you scroll back, okay, to the messages that like many of you has actually left, okay, on the oracle deck itself, anytime if you have not choose your oracle, go back to that post itself, choose one and read onto the cards, okay, because it's still valid. It was still valid at least up to at least mid of May, because the intensity of this eclipse itself, I would say that if you want to revisit the oracle, okay, anytime from now onwards, okay, all the way even up to next year, okay, the intensity is valid. But the impact, okay, will be highest, of course, throughout April and May, and all the way also it will impact in September. And tonight we're going to share with you why is it so? What does it mean? How is it going to impact us? Okay. So hi Jessie. Okay, Jessie Tan. All right. Today I was at the Song Yen. Okay. Retreat as well. I know many of you here have signed up. Okay, for the Power Up retreat in May. Right. Tonight we went there. Okay, for another final discussions, and we spent, is it an hour at least? Okay, in the hall there with a lot of all the sound instruments and all that to do another grounding work lah. Okay, I call it, right? So we have to prepare all this grounding energy and grounding work itself, okay, before, in a way, right, really physically being there to greet, okay, all of you. We have almost probably about like 60 sign-ups, okay, up to now, okay, for the Power Up. So looking forward.
Looking
I know,
forward to that.
Yep, Jessie will be there.
Jessie
Tan will be there.
Yes.
In fact, on the 3rd. Okay, a day earlier, okay,
nice.
Before it all begins. All right, that's very nice. All right, Melvi Gatas,
Hi,
okay, Donna
Saman is
Poon.
here, Donna.
Yeah, Jin Shak. Can we
That's a
choose more than
question
one? Jin Shak, okay, if you have chosen the other day for the cards itself, right, okay, leave it as it is first at least for 2 weeks, okay, don't choose another one. At least for 2 weeks itself, let the energy flow, right? Reflect on the card that you have chosen, okay? Contemplate on it, feel it, okay? And 2 weeks later, if you feel like you want to choose another card to see what's a new message, okay? Especially on the night or the night before the eclipse itself, you can choose another card, okay? But not too soon, not this week. Next week, yes, you can choose another card, right? Especially on the night before the eclipse itself, okay? To see what will be the message again, what will be the oracle for you, and also, in a way, the exercise, the rituals for you to actually do, okay, the night before it, okay, so we can choose it. All right, so let's start, okay, on today's sharing itself. Let me just bring out the slide itself. Now, first of all,
eclipses.
yes, why don't you explain about the eclipse, okay? Would you like to do that?
Okay, generally when we have an eclipse, we have, either it's a solar eclipse, like the one that's on this side, right? Or it's a lunar eclipse. So on April 20th, for most parts of the world, there are few parts of the Western world, of course, during that time, will be on the day before, right? For most parts of the world will be in Asia. And then, of course, the main path of the eclipse is going to be traversing through the Western Australia side, Papua New Guinea, as well as some parts of Indonesia, and covering the shadow, right, across a wider span of Asia, including a country like Malaysia and Thailand as well. So that's the solar eclipse, and basically a solar eclipse is when we've got the moon position, right, in between.
Just like this,
Yes, planet Earth and also the sun.
Yeah, so you have the sun over here, you have the earth over here, and you have the moon in between, okay? And that's a solar eclipse. And every time the eclipse comes, every eclipse season, you will experience both, the solar and the lunar, in different forms,
As a
different
pair.
intensity,
That's
but
right.
it always comes in a pair.
Yes, and of course it's an eclipse during a so-called new moon. So it's very fascinating this year, of course, for a country like Malaysia, because we also have the tree celebrations which coincide as well this time with actually this hybrid solar eclipse. And it's always occurring at a new moon, even though, of course, there are many new moons which are not eclipses because of the path of the position of the actual moon in between Earth and also the Sun, so it doesn't quite cover it as a shadow, or we don't receive the shadow on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And
About the
then
lunar.
Lunar eclipse is basically a super heightened full moon. I like to call it that, right? Essentially, it's with the position of moon on the other side of
the moon is here.
Earth.
Yeah.
Right? For solar, the moon will be positioned here, right? But for a lunar, the moon is actually on the other end, right? In the same line of, how shall we say, light from the sun, right? So putting the moon in a sense complete darkness, but it will never be dark. In fact, it's always super illuminated because of the light being dispersed by Earth itself, right? So that's the lunar eclipse.
Yeah, all right. And then remember we said that normally it comes in a season, and the eclipse season itself, it always comes in a pair. All right, of course, today we're going to focus on the solar first, okay? Because next week itself, then we'll talk more about the lunar, okay? And then, of course, both of it is actually very impactful, okay, for this year's itself. And then, of course, solar eclipse, I think the other day, Gong Yu has actually made a Facebook Live to talk about this is a hybrid solar eclipse, all right? And then the hybrid itself, okay, is like, because it takes different phases, and when you see it in different location on Earth itself, you will see a different impact. Okay, different how to say outcome, or different sort of like how to say
Observation.
Yeah, observations of it.
Yeah.
Like some part of the world, okay, you'll be able to see a total, okay, solar eclipse, and then some parts of the world you'll be seeing only partially, okay, of the solar eclipse, and then certain moment you'll be able to see the annular, or what the ring of fire. All right, so that already in a way makes it different, because hybrid solar eclipse itself, it doesn't comes by that often. In fact, it is a very rare occasion. All right, the previous hybrid solar eclipse itself, it happened in 2013. Okay, that was exactly 10 years ago. And the upcoming one, the next one, will come in 2031. Just now you've checked, it will be in November, right?
It's apparently going to be on November 14, 2031. Incidentally, the previous one in 2013 was also in November.
Yeah, okay.
The early part of it.
Yeah, and then the thing is, you will see that, okay, normally, okay, this hybrid solar eclipses, okay, it will always takes position between November and also in a way somewhere in April and May, okay? And later we're going to explain this. It's like, why is it, okay, right, all the time when it comes to this like positioning in November, okay, and then after that comes into the positioning into like end of April or towards early of May itself, okay? Because in terms of astrology, Chinese metaphysics itself, right, this is a special, I would say, direction. Okay, this is a very special direction that probably some of you who are, in a way, our soul journey students, okay, you know about it. Okay, so later we're going to go into that. Okay, let's look more into eclipses. It's like, why is it so special? I mean, eclipse is an eclipse. I'm sure that many of you, especially solar eclipse, right? Okay, probably many of you have like heard before, as in like solar eclipse is something to avoid. Okay, by any chance. Okay, try to, in a way, hide yourself, don't expose yourself, don't go out, don't do major things. We'll go into that later on. So do let us know if you've heard any of these do's and don'ts, okay? Any of the pantang larang, okay, that you have heard about it, okay? Do let us know in the comment, because we want to, in a way, cater to that, okay?
Typically, unfortunately, the solar eclipse especially
yes, especially the, yeah, especially the solar eclipse, okay? But today we're going to, in a way, share with you, at least from my perspective, okay, or our perspective of like, why is it so? Okay, I'm not saying that, oh, it's like taboo or it's totally wrong whatsoever, because I believe that everything that has been passed down, there must be a reason to it. There must be a reason some of our forefathers or ancestors, okay, said something like this. But what could be the underlying reason behind these statements, okay? So when I personally, in a way, dwell or in a way reflect on this, okay, I mean, I understand it from my perspective, which I'm going to share with you, okay, why there are certain things, because I personally is not the type of person that if you tell me, oh, don't do this, and I just, oh, okay, don't do, okay, because it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if you want to make sense to me, you have to tell me why, okay? It needs to make sense. It needs to be logically, in a way, explained, even though I know there's not everything can be explained, but at least up to a certain level, okay, of understanding, it has to, in a way, make sense to it, okay?
We already have a comment here by Gloria Lim.
Yeah,
I
okay.
was told to hide away, but I will be on tour in Taiwan with my young son. How?
Enjoy your tour,
enjoy your tour.
Gloria. Yeah, enjoy your tour. I mean, yeah, that's why later on I'm going to share with you.
And
Hi,
listen,
Elena.
yeah, keep
okay?
listening for the rest of the session.
Yeah. So first of all, we have to understand first, okay, because you see, eclipses that happens, right, it takes place or involve, okay, three of the most important, okay, elements, okay, when it comes to astrology in our solar system, okay, and these elements itself, besides the different planetary alignment of different elements, it's like we have like Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, and all that, right? These two, okay, elements, okay, that is going to impact on eclipses is the sun and the moon. How is it going to impact on Earth? Okay, but so in terms of like metaphysics, okay, we need to know is like the understanding of representations of the sun and also the moon, okay, to the Earth. So now the thing is, okay, when we talk about the sun and moon, okay, in our solar system itself, the sun is the most important reference point or element, okay, because it's the nearest star. That's the first, I would say, at least awakening of purpose, because all stars, okay, leads us towards our purpose. Okay, that's why the northern stars, okay, right, our north node is that everything that leads us towards our life purpose. At least the nearest to it needs to be the sun. Okay, so the sun over here represents our soul or spirit, because all these three elements of the sun, the moon, and the earth represents the mind, body, okay, and also spirit or the soul. Now, what's the difference, if you ask me, between the soul and the spirit? I will always say is that the soul, okay, exists in a reincarnation, okay, of collective energy over many past lives. Right? It can exist for probably even up to like thousands or even millions of years, okay, in a way, continuously, in a way, evolving itself. That's the soul, okay? And over all these many how to say, evolutions, okay, all right, transformations, okay, that happens, we got into our lifetime, okay, that we reincarnated into like you, me, and Kong Yu in this lifetime, and this is a soul within us. But this soul itself might not be the highest level of a purified soul, okay, because we have a lot of karmic issues, we have a lot of like previous attachments, a lot of learnings, a lot of breakthroughs that we have to, in a way, learn, realize, okay, awakening, okay, enlightening, so that we are awakened in order for us to shed all this, in a way, heaviness, so that the soul now, okay, can ascend to become a spirit. And the spirit here means that the purest form of the soul, okay, which is part of the soul as well. So for all ascended person or ascended master or even awakened soul, okay, it becomes more spiritual. That's why they call spirituality, right? Spiritual means that the more we do it until we are so pure that there's no more, I would say, how to say?
The remnants.
Remnants?
Yeah.
Wow, how come so deep?
Leftovers.
Leftovers, okay? Right? So when there's no more of like...
Waste.
Yeah, no more waste. Okay, yeah, that's Gong Yu lah. Okay, he always can come up with all those like super deep words. Okay, right? So it's like, no, when we in a way purify our soul, okay, up to like we become so pure that all these like waste, okay, all these like leftovers, okay, are in a way really shredded, okay, out of the soul itself. Okay, we becomes the spirit. That's why, and from my understanding, that is the purpose of spirituality. So we continue doing it. We continue breaking through. We continue, in a way, it's like way making ascensions of our energy. Okay, in a way, enlightenment, going through awakening and reawakening again and again, so that our soul here becomes pure, and therefore we call it a spirit. And that's represented by the sun, the brightest, at least in our solar system. And then we talk about the earth, okay? So the earth here, in a way, represents our body, physical body, ourselves. All of us, every one of us, we exist on earth. The attachment, okay, the physical form, the illusions, okay, that we have. Our body is like, our body is the illusions, the temporary sort of like a temple for the soul itself, and it exists on earth, okay? So all this talks about karma, okay, the karmic things, okay, that get manifested into our reality for us to contemplate, to reflect, to learn, to realize, okay, and to observe surrounding us, so that we can eventually, okay, be awakened. So the earth here represents that body part, that karma, or in other words, okay, whereas the moon here, okay, represents the mind, the brain, all right, the function of the mind, the intelligence, okay, that also in a way have a tendency to lead to our emotion. So the moon here represents our emotions, our mind, because through our mind creates our emotion, right? Whatever we first thought of, we think, we believe, it creates the emotions or the turmoil of emotions or the fluctuations of emotions within ourselves, okay? So if we understand this, okay, of these three planet, star, this one called what? I remember you taught me before, satellite. You call it. Okay, all right. So when we understand these three things, okay, and that is the comprises of our heaven, earth, man, and also what we call of our mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so once we understand that, then we know every time during an eclipse that happened, okay, the alignment of the sun, the moon, and the earth are all aligned like this. Okay, this is a solar eclipse. So in next week itself, you will see that the moon comes in between the earth and also the sun. Gets in between here, okay, for us to have this alignment. And when we have alignment, we have a void. A void happens, okay, everything is aligned. That's why we have an eclipse. Something goes into darkness. Something goes into like emptiness. Something goes into a void, right? In Pata, we call it is in a way a full yin. When something aligns exactly the same, okay, it becomes a full yin. And a lot of times people are afraid of full yin. And we've talked about it so many times, okay? People are afraid of eclipse, people are afraid of full yin, because during the alignment, okay, of all this, in a way, mind, body, and spirit, is also when the path or the portal opens up.
Yeah. And of course, it's important to keep in mind this whole idea of yin yang, right? Which is, of course, the main sort of basic tenet of part of Chinese metaphysics overall, right?
Yeah.
Right. So of course, the sun is yang, right, and then the ultimate yin, of course, is the moon. So these two are also in the perfect alignment, right, at the same time. And this is where I guess there is that understanding about how yang qi is actually in void as well.
Yes.
Which is the main
Exactly.
component again of where the root cause and
Of all
the
pantang larangs.
fears,
Yes, the fears.
right, that
Yeah.
have actually been kind of passed on
Yes.
through all the generations, right?
Yeah, and you know, it's like in a way, Kong Yu and I, okay, has been trying our very best to do discovery, research, okay, in a way, brainstorming, debating, arguing. Yeah, we go through a lot of all these things, okay, whatever you want to call it, okay, in order for us to find, okay, down to the reason is in like why these things happen, why these things have been passed down, why such belief existed, okay, ever since our, like, in a way, ancestors, okay, or our forefathers, or our, in a way, gurus or teachers that come before us, okay. So as Kong Yu has put it, when it's aligned and the void is created, that is when they say is like the sun or the yang energy, now it goes into void. Emptiness, when the sun do not exist for that slight moment, okay, so everything becomes yin, okay, and a lot of people believes that, okay, yin is bad, yang is good, but you know that we are existing, okay, in a coexistence between yin and yang. If we cannot embrace the yin, we will never to be able to reach that wholeness, the oneness of both yin and yang thing, okay. So once we understand this, okay, then we go, okay, to the next thing, as in like when all is aligned, understanding that during an eclipse, when all is aligned, there will be no differences. It means, okay, the truth revealed. No differences. When everything is misaligned and everything, okay, right, there will be lies. I mean, lies means, okay, I would say illusions. Lies and everything is everything. This is misaligned, okay. You put something, okay, to cover something up, okay. So those are the things. I mean, if you have like what, okay, not so like smooth complexion, what do you do? Okay, you want to put something on, makeup lah, okay, foundation lah, concealer, put it on, okay. So now, okay, whatever that is internal, okay, would not align with the external. What you see is not the truth, okay. But when everything is aligned, there will be no differences. Means the truth reveal or prevail itself. And the thing is, why a lot of people are afraid of solar eclipses is because people are afraid of the what? Of the truth. And I mean, yeah, I know a lot of time people say that I want to know the truth. I come for consultations, okay. All right, I mean, now you know that Kong Yu is going into his, like, of course, his consultations or offerings or services months, right? Okay, where like probably some of you have signed up for his personal consult, okay? But the thing is, when you come to a personal consult like this, okay, how much truth can you handle? How much truth can you handle? All right? Or do you want to come for consultations, okay, or any workshops or any classes, okay, that we provide, okay, hopefully that you don't get 100% truth. All right, so that is the thing, is like with people, is because with human there is so much of this impurity of the soul. Okay, impurity of the soul means it actually translated as ego. The sun represents the soul, the spirit, or the ego. When it's not pure, it's an ego. So our ego, our fear, okay, in a way impact us, okay, so much that sometimes it manipulated us to, in a way, shy away from the truth. But when the eclipse comes by, the truth prevails itself, whether you like it or not, because of the energy of the alignment of the sun, moon, and the earth. Okay, it created that void. Okay, and when the void is aligned, everything is aligned back. There is no confusion, there is no illusion. Okay, when there's no confusion, it means no illusion. What you see is what you get. But the thing is, are we ready to face the truth or not? Okay, so for people who are not ready, that's why during eclipse moments like this, you will see more 掙扎. 掙扎 means what? You understand 掙扎? Means there will be more, how to say, contradictions. There will be more, like, in a way, dilemma, internal doubt, internal battle, okay, that will happen within the person itself. Okay? Yeah, I know. Every time, right, I ask on you, do Facebook Live together? He said, okay. But most of the time, you see, I'll be the one talking, and he'll be like, okay, I'm sitting here. Okay, you talk.
No, do you want to elaborate on the present, past, and future being coming together at the same time?
Okay,
right?
Present, past, and future coming together at the same time is because it's like the sun here represents the future, okay? Where else, like, okay, the earth here represents the past, the residues, the histories, okay? Our past recollective belief mindset, okay? Whatever you want to talk about, culture, all these things are the past, okay? Whatever that we are in a way learning now is the past, okay? This particular, what we call, how to say, tools, okay, that we have in terms of astrology and all these things is a past, okay? So when this tree of the sun, moon, and the earth align itself, okay, that is exactly when we get into the present. Means the past and the future are all aligned in this present moment. In other words, of course, this is like means everything everywhere. When the portal, it opens, right, it connects us. Okay, it connects us to, in a way, like the past together with the future as well. Okay, and of course, the one that can traverse to and fro in this particular portal will be the mind. Okay, because only the mind here, which in a way exists between the sun and the earth itself, has this tendency to connect the past to our future. Only if we are willing to see the truth, when we can see, okay, the light within the darkness. The truth means what? It means that even through illusions, confusions, the darkness, okay, we can still see light. We are illuminated by the heart, okay? It means our heart is clear, okay, right? And we can actually, in a way, see, okay, through it. So now, okay, when the solar eclipse happen is when this alignment happen, okay, we will be able, the best time for us to be able to find out what's the past, okay, what has happened, what triggered this, what baggage do we have, what karmic loop that we have, okay, what are the things that is stopping us from, in a way, moving forward, okay, or going further, okay, or in a way ascending, right? So when during the solar eclipse is the best time for us to work on this. Therefore, a lot of times it is recommended by ancient masters and all that. They say that during solar eclipse it's best to stay at home, meditate, do meditations and all that, because due to the alignment, this is the best time. Don't waste it. Don't waste time going out, partying, clubbing, distracting yourself, okay? Doing things that in a way they will distract you from your mind and connecting with your heart, okay? Because these are the alignment. So therefore, during the eclipse itself, it's best for us to actually go reflection. If you are not used to meditation, you don't want to do meditation, just reflect. Ask questions, okay? Trigger yourself and ask why these things happen to you. There's always a reason to it, okay? So during an eclipse, it's best to do this. And remember, when the void happens, when the yang energy which is also in a way the protector. So in a way, they say the yang energy of the sun fa man sat disperse off all negative energy. So when the yang energy is void at that time, when it goes into this void, the path, the emptiness, okay, when it goes into the darkness, for that moment, therefore, okay, our forefathers will say that don't go out, okay, stay at home. Why you have to stay at home? Minimize going out. We want to protect our energy. Why? Because during this moment, okay, everything is all, how to say, all the doors are open, right? All realms are open. Every frequencies of different realm, heaven, earth, okay, man, all are open. So you can say higher frequencies or gods or angels. We can say lower frequencies. People can term it as like ghosts or spirits. Example, all these portals are open. We can access. That's why the mind can go to and fro, easily access, okay, to this, right? So if we are out there, okay, unaware, do not know how to protect ourselves energetically, okay, just chances for us, okay, to be influenced, manipulated, affected by, in a way, negative energy will be higher, okay, because for that split moment, the yang energy is absent, okay, it's no longer around. Therefore, the best way, imagine one ancient wise master, and you have like probably thousands of like people, civilians who have no idea what freaking like solar eclipse is all about, okay, right? And they have like no idea in a way probably how to do meditations and find in a way deeper wisdom into themselves. The best thing that this teacher can do is, okay, just tell them, stay at home, give them a bit of fear, okay, don't come out, okay, so that we can protect the energy within them, okay. But the thing is, if we have the awareness, if we have the wisdom, if we have the understanding, there's no fear to actually come out, okay, to actually be exposed as well, because life goes on, right? Okay, so that is my understanding into it. All right, so next slide. All right, so you see here, now, just now we talked about the sun, the moon, and the earth when it's aligned, okay? It actually created that void, that emptiness, that darkness, okay? And that one, okay, it's also the pathway for us to go deep. That's why the mind can go to the past and to the future. It means it builds that in-depthness, okay? The in-depthness of things, all right? Which is the yin, represents between the yin and yang. Now, the thing is, we realize, okay, right, a lot of human nowadays, in our modern context of society, we like the yang, which is like, it represents the width of things. We don't like to go into the depth of things, okay? Going into the depth of things means going to the root cause, the understanding, the trigger, the truth that is in that. Whereas going to the width of thing, it means the surface, the, how to say, the sugar coating, the icing on the cake, everything's on top, okay, right, without really looking into it. But a lot of time people likes the width of things, okay, right, just tell me anything like shortcut, tell me that it's not my fault, tell me what I can do so I can achieve better, tell me how to actually get rich quick, okay, like tell me that I'm in a way that my husband loves me and everything is okay, there's no third party outside. I mean, people want this. Do some feng shui for me. It's okay. I'll pay you. That's the width of things, okay? They want to see the surface. They do not want to work on the root cause. Why? Because the root cause, in a way, hurts. That's reality. That's truth. We do not want to know or understand or accept the responsibility is like why we fail in life. We do not want to accept the responsibility is like why we are not making it in life, okay? Because if that responsibility comes in, we have to look into the in-depth of things. Now, during a solar eclipse, okay, when everything is void, it's going to darkness, okay, it means that when the portal opens, okay, we can go into the in-depth of things. For people who are willing to work spiritually for themselves, who are willing to find answers, to rediscover about their soul, to go through enlightenment or awakening again and again and again, even if it fears you, the eclipse will be the best time for us to go deep. Okay, if not, we'll be staying on the width of thing. It's like a lot of people, in a way, it's like nowadays you see businesses. Once they start a business, it's showing like probably some good results due to good branding, marketing. Then what's the next thing? Mushroom franchise. Okay, sell the franchise, sell as much as possible, and like the next few years collapse. Why? Because there's no in-depth root planted in that business itself, okay? And during an eclipse itself, this is what we see, okay? The yin and yang of things. It opens up to the yin, the darkness, and the in-depth of thing for us to look into, All right? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, there's a question here. I guess eventually we'll actually get to that.
All right.
Right, Emily Ngok, right?
Yeah.
Which dates?
Hi, Emily.
Meditation, anytime, yin energy. We'll get into some of those details.
Yeah.
in
We
a
will
bit.
go into that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the eclipse itself is happening on April the 20th.
Yeah.
At about 12:16 plus 12:17 p.m.
Okay, in the afternoon.
For Kuala Lumpur time. Yeah, in the afternoon.
All right, so this is also, in a way, I've shown this before. We have worked it out, okay? All the eclipses, okay, right, in the upcoming, in a way, like years, okay, up to 2030, okay? So you can see that, you see, eclipse is a pattern. Everything in astrology, there's a pattern. It's not random. You would say it's like, oh, sometimes happen in November, sometimes happen in like April or May, but you see that every year there's a pattern to it because it's the alignment of the sun and moon, okay, right, together with the earth itself, right? So if you put it into perspective, okay, of all the upcoming, okay, eclipse by calculations itself, you'll be able to see the pattern of the eclipse. And in the olden days, right, you can research about this on Google or whatever, okay, you will see that it's a very, very famous, I've forgotten which dynasty itself. There are these astrologers, okay, who failed to predict the correct, I would say, eclipse, okay, all right, and they were beheaded by the emperor. It's that important. It is all in history. In fact, people are in a way still, like there are a lot of like theses that talks about it. There are articles who talk about it, okay? The astrologers of the imperial palace, okay, who in a way fail to predict, okay, this out. If they cannot get this right, okay, so when the eclipse happened and the imperial palace or the emperor missed that moment, all right, the astrologers get beheaded, okay? So it's all in the internet, okay? So you can search about that. And why is it so? Why is it so important? Why would the emperor wants to know about the eclipse? Because they know that during the eclipse is the best timing. It's like a shortcut. Everything opens up. So when you're ready, okay, this is the moment for us to be able to see the past at the same time to foretell the future. So in the olden days, it's like what they do is they do manifestations during eclipse, okay? Of course, they do prayers during eclipse, okay? But they also do, in a way, divination during eclipse because they want to divinate to see, foretell the future. They want to see examples. The emperors wants to see how long will I be here? Who will be my successor? Okay, because when the eclipse happen, right, the portals opens up, okay, the clarity or the truth comes out. Okay, so therefore, okay, predicting the eclipse, okay, for astrologers in the olden days are very, very crucial and very, very important. Okay, so these are the things I highlight to you. Probably you can check about it. But you can see the eclipse, in a way, it changes over time. You can see that 2019, it happens in July, and after that, it goes to June, okay, 2021, 2022, it happens between April and May, and 2023, it happens in between, in a way, April and May as well here, okay. Now, every year we have eclipse, at least 2 seasons, sometimes you have 3 seasons, okay? But why is it this year's eclipse so important? And why is it impacting us on a more impactful manner? Okay, so first of all, we have to see, okay, the pillars of every year. Now, I'm sure many of you here know 八字, okay? You know about, these are what we call the 60 家字 or the 60 pillars, okay, of every month in that particular year. Now, this was 2022, okay? Now, when it comes to eclipse, right, okay, we talk about void, that alignment, when things are, in a way, no confusion, truth, purity, no confusion, okay? So those are what we talk about, the void. So when it comes to 60 家字, okay, you can also see, okay, when the pillars are aligned, in a way, exactly as it is, it means that the chi flows, how to say, very pure chi, okay? The pure chi means there's no confusion, right? The chi are flowing, okay, with one single element at its prime or at its prosperous. Now, if you look at 2022, every year got eclipse, okay? But you look at 2022 here. Now, those of you who know 八字, you will see, sorry, this one December also have to, in a way, circle up. All right, this one July also have to circle up. Okay, you will see that in 2022 June, okay, 丙午, okay, which is a horseman here, you have a pure chi of fire. And here July, this is considered a pure chi as well because 丁未, okay, in a way also you can say, oh no, 丁未is not, sorry, okay, because this is earth, okay, only with earth on top, okay, so this is not fire. But this one 壬子, okay, last year, okay, in December itself, this is pure chi of water. So last year, you see, out of 12 months, you see 2 pillars of pure chi. Now take a look at 2023. Now this is 2023, every single month, once we enter since February into this water rabbit year. Can you see that in February 2023, if you can point that, okay, that is a pure chi of tiger, okay? You can see pure chi of tiger, of course, wood there. And then March, okay, is also a pure chi of wood. Then here, okay, in April, it is not, but you go into May. Can you see that May, okay, where the second part of the eclipse is happening, is another pure chi. Then you go through Wu Wu. Now, this is pure chi, even though Wu Earth on top and fire at the bottom. But because Earth is prosperous in summer, so this is pure chi of Earth. And this is pure chi of Earth. This is pure chi of metal. This is pure chi of metal. Followed by November is another pure chi of water. It's not every year you will be able to see, okay, in so many pillars, the chi are flowing purely, okay? Whereas you can see all the pure chi from wood, okay, produce fire, fire produce earth, earth produce metal, metal produce water. So the energy for this year, 2023, is very, very different comparatively to different years. Even though a lot of people thought that, isn't next year, 2024, period 9 is like the important year? Now you see 2024, all right? These are the only months that you see pure chi. The rest of the months, okay, we have confusions of chi. It means there's no truth, no single element, and no pure element existing. Now you see 2025, okay, only 1 month out of the 12 months. You see 2026, only 1 month out of the 12 months, okay? And after that, 2027, okay, 2 months out of the 12 months. Now, the special thing is, those of you who are my Soul's Journey children, okay, you see here, now, if you pay exact, why I say 2027 is crucial, it's important. Remember, we have a date supposedly, if I'm still around, okay, all right, we will be in the way, hopefully, we will be in Egypt, okay, in 2027. Now, why is that so? If you pay attention, 2027, every single month and pillars, okay, is exactly the same month and pillars as if last year since the opening of the Grand Centurion Portal. Remember last year we talked about the Grand Centurion Portal. It starts with Ren Yin in February, okay, and ends with Kui Chou in January. Back to 2027, it goes into a one completion. From 2022 onwards to 2027, all the pillars align back. Okay, so of course we'll go deeper into that lah, okay, later on. But these are the things you have to research into it, you have to see the pattern, okay, and then you have to find the meaning to it, okay. Only when you look into it, then you will know every year which year is more important than the next, because the timing only comes a lot of time, like Grand Centurion Portal. I've been shouting about it since 2020 year end, okay. But if you missed it, okay, last year, you miss it for the rest of your entire life, okay, because it won't come back again until 180 years later. Even my children won't be able to witness it again, ever, all right. So the thing is, these things when it comes to date selection is important because we study the energy, because all the alignments. So we know from here 2023 is crucial. All right, so 2023 is crucial and it starts by April. Now, I'm going to explain more on the solar first, okay? Because next week, then we talk about the lunar, because the lunar only takes place in early May. All right, but we look at here, okay, in Ping Chen, solar, okay, which is on the 20th, okay? When this hybrid solar eclipse is again a very rare eclipse that comes by probably once every 10 years, roughly, right? The next one, the last one, 2013, the next one, 2031, okay? So in 100 years itself, probably you come by only about like what, 10 times, okay, maximum, all right? So this is what happened in April, next week itself. Now, we want to see what are the potential, what are the triggers, how is this, in a way, eclipse is going to impact us. So we have to see the hidden energy of Ping Chen, okay? The hidden energy of Ping Chen is Sin You. Now, Sin You here, now how we find this hidden energy is because Ping Chen, Ping fire combines Sin metal, the dragon combines with the rooster. If you know Bazi, you will know this. It means that the obvious pillar and the hidden pillar, yin and yang. A lot of time we pay attention into the yang pillar. We do predictions and everything based only on April 2023 Ping Chen year, okay? But when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to energy works, we cannot just pay attention to the obvious. We have to pay attention to the pillar that brings us in depth. What will be affected? What will be the trigger? What we can do? What we can achieve from it? Okay, so we have to see the hidden energy. So the hidden energy is Sin You. So overall, what does Sin You represents? Okay, probably like Gong Yu wants to take over for a while now.
Yeah, just one thing before I get into that, right? So this is, again, with combining the hidden energy, the energy of September, which is also a pillar of pure chi. So that is very significant by itself, right? The access towards what we can interpret in terms of the hidden, which is revealed, right, in the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
So that's why understanding further, that's what we're going to do right now, right? What Sin Yo is all about.
Yeah.
It is basically one whole pillar of Sin metal.
Yeah.
Right? The metal that has to do with perfection, has to do with everything being in its perfect place.
Imagine one whole pure pillar of like diamonds carved or the highest value jewelry and all. Yeah.
So a lot of the hidden issues, which we will be uncovered with the energies of the solar eclipse, will have to do with this seemingly perfection, right? Of course, perfection is also associated with ego and our egoic needs, especially the surface level ones, the ones that have to do with being a perfect person, if there's such a thing, right? And then also have to do with outlook, outward appearances.
Beauty appearances.
Beauty
Okay?
appearances.
Yeah.
And also, ironically, right, one of the things that we were talking about when we were preparing for this live, right before we came on live, is actually the fact that the Yo, which is the rooster, which is situated in the west, right, of the compass, you can say, right, it's also the energy that has to do with the Tui Gua, which is the triangle of Tui, which, you know, it's got many layers to it, but one of it is actually broken, which is very yin-yang, very ironic when it comes to the so-called perfection of Sin metal.
Yes. Okay. So overall, it's like, how is it going to impact us? It's like, yeah, I understand Sin Yo, okay. So a lot of times, right, you have to look back into whatever that is emotionally, mentally, or even physically affecting you, okay. It's like, how does it make you feel? And try to go into the core trigger to it. The core trigger could be, is like, are you striving for perfection? Is it beauty? Beauty in a way as a sense, okay, acceptance. The lessons of beauty is always acceptance, okay? People who think that you're never good enough, right? You're never enough, okay, right? This lacking of value. So you have to beautify and beautify and beautify to make it better all the time by putting illusions to yourself, okay? Makeup and all these things are illusions, okay? I'm not saying that you should go about not putting on makeup, okay, because we want to look presentable at times, okay? By the way, I don't have any makeup, so it's like you don't see my eyebrow here, okay, I don't have it, okay, and I don't want to put it, okay, just for a Facebook Live, okay, so that you can see my illusions of having an eyebrow, okay. But the thing is, like Sin Yo here, whatever that triggers us, it could be our value. Right? In a way, it's like, how do we value ourselves, okay? And I will strive for that perfection, comparison, okay? How we self-punish ourselves. Two rooster here, those of you who know butter, okay? How we self-punish ourselves to strive for something that is never enough, okay? We hit a certain target, we reach a certain position, we want more, okay? We want better, okay? We want to compare, right? Or how we, in a way, has a chance to, in a way, break something, okay? It's like breaking something because it's like Tui Gua is like broken, okay? How we actually self-punish ourselves by breaking some relationship, breaking some ties, okay? Like breaking some connections, example. And this breaking of connections can be also connections between ourselves, okay? Our mind and also our hearts, okay? So it's like, in a way, how connected we are to our hearts, okay? Because a lot of times, okay, right, all connections or relationships that so-called, in a way, deemed broken on the external side always got manifested, okay, into a reality by first, okay, having some brokenness within our own hearts or our connections within ourselves, okay? It means the possibilities between the mind and the heart is not aligned, okay? It is not in, in balance, okay? There's a brokenness that happens between the external and the internal, okay? That could be the trigger of things that eventually, okay, will trigger onto a lot of emotional impact, okay, of stuff as well. So we have to ask ourselves, what is our sufferings here, okay? What trigger it, okay? All right, and of course, as Kong Yu has mentioned, it's Sin Yo, it's pure ego, okay? It's the ego of, like, in a way, being the best, like I am better than you, sort of like a position. That is the sin matter. Why, sort of like, in a way, fight, because it's like every diamond wants to be that the rarest, the most treasured, the most valued, right? So that will be the trigger that somehow in this eclipse itself, okay, which has started weeks ago, all these things will kick in emotionally. It will impact us. It will trigger us, okay? So if we are living life in the dark, not aware, not enlightened, not realizing, we will struggle. Okay, we have that internal struggle. We have no idea why are we suffering, why are we sad, why are we in a way irritated, frustrated, okay, agitated, why these things have to happen to us, okay, because we cannot see the light within it. Okay,
That's why also, right, just to remind everyone that this is also the powerful time for us to work on transformation. And that's why solar eclipses typically are also associated with perfect periods for us to reset, right, and also to reevaluate. So there are a lot of other factors which actually contribute to this particular eclipse season being so suitable for it. But then this one, keeping into this perspective of the hidden energy of Sin Yo, right, also points to us to rediscover our value.
Yeah.
So that we can also, with this awareness and this rediscovery, we can also then follow through with aligning towards what is more reflective of our true personal value.
yeah, all right,
Right?
and
Whether it is in the choice of what you do with your day-to-day energy, with your career, job, right? And also to generally how you relate your own personal value in relating to
yeah,
other people.
and matter energy, pure matter energy represents the truth, okay, the truth of things. So in a way, it's like somehow, okay, this particular eclipse energy itself is going to trigger, chongkil is trigger, right? It's going to trigger deep down into our heart, our fear, especially our ego, to actually, in a way, put reality and the truth to our face, right? Are we still running away from it? Do you still want to hide like an ostrich and think that eclipse is bad? And while, as long as I'm not seeing it, there's not the problem. You see, I mean, every year there's eclipse, and every year the eclipse will be chasing you. The shadows or your shadows will be chasing you until one day you realize that you had enough, okay? One day you realize that, okay, it's enough to be chased by shadows. I'm going to stop here and I will chase my shadows instead. That's why today's topic, chasing shadows. Whenever we know that the eclipse is coming, when the void is coming, when the portal is opening, I no longer want, okay, or allow my past, my fear, my ego to come and bite me at my back. Because I'm going to turn back, I'm going to seek it out, I'm going to find the root cause to it, and I'm going to terminate it once and for all by understanding it, embracing it, realizing it. So when we embrace and realize it, okay, and then it's like, poof, okay, the lessons learned. That's how we actually make breakthroughs, okay? Because the more we run away from it, the more it is going to come back to bite us in the dark, okay? So that's why I always say in my spiritual classes, meditation classes, spiritual journey and all that, we are no longer in a way living in a life where we are running away from our shadows. But instead, we start chasing those shadows. We want to find it. When is it going to happen? Predict it, know it, okay? And then we prepare ourselves to face it. So when it comes here, we will take that opportunity to go deeper into ourselves, okay? Either this life, childhood trauma, past life, many past lives that we have, okay? To see, okay, what is our purpose, what is our strength, what is our weaknesses, what are the things that have happened before, either in this life or in the past life itself, that still haunt us, that still serves as a fear within us that stops us from moving forward. And that is the purpose of chasing shadows, okay? And the best thing to chase the shadows is during eclipse seasons. All right, so now, okay, of course, this one we talk about, again, Sin Yo is also the upcoming September month. So whatever that happens in the eclipse, if you want to talk about, okay, the manifestations part, okay, because you see, the mind brings us to travel. The present brings us to the past and the future during an eclipse. Remember just now we talked about it? So in this April and May eclipse itself, okay, it can actually in a way helps us to manifest the fruition as early by September, okay, 2023 to see the result, okay, or all the way, we talk about May. Now this one, we talk next week, okay, in detail. But in May itself, the hidden energy is Ren Shen. And Ren Shen is the energy of August in 2024. It means that if this eclipse, we can harness it well. We can utilize the energy and maximize its potential, okay? The manifestation period, at least, okay, it will actually, in a way, manifest into reality latest by September all the way up to August 2024, okay? The energy is that intense, okay? Built in a way by the hidden elements of the particular pillar, okay, in April and also in May. All right, so therefore, we will save some of this, okay, for next week, okay, as well. So you know that, of course, this time round, okay, the eclipse is going to end. It actually starts between Dragon Month and snake month in between this. And you know that now, dragon, snake, okay, and the dog and the pig itself, this is considered what we call Tin Lo Dei Mao. I mean, if you are into Taoism prayers, if you've been to my temple, probably I've prayed for you before, okay? There's these things that we always want to tear away this, what you call, it's like the heavens net and the earthly web, okay? Tin Lo Dei Mao. Why? Because these are the alignment. That's why I say, why like the last hybrid in 2013 happens in somewhere in November, which is here, okay, in the pig month, all right? And then now it happens in the snake month. And the next one, it happens again going back to November, okay? Why? Because it always happens between, okay, the alignment of heaven and earth. Because here, okay, you see that the snake now is the earth gate, which also have the gua of heaven. It's totally opposite of heaven's portal and also the earth gate. Right, so when it happens here, you also see that this alignment that it opens up during the eclipse is not just a normal 24 direction of your lopan, okay, or the direction, you know. This is opening up, okay, to the direction of the heaven's portal and also the earth gate, which is very, very important for ascension, awakening, or enlightening sort of like purposes. All right, so having said that, of course, this one will again, right, we will share further. Okay, we have done, okay, with today's sharing. Remember, next week, then we talk about lunar eclipse, okay? And before the eclipse itself, of course, okay, I will also share with you again, I see like what to prepare, okay, for the eclipse. But of course, okay, I do hope that for some of you, if you can make it physically to join me, okay, on a experiential workshop, it means this workshop itself, minimal theory. It's just that you go there, if you understand it, it's a physical workshop. I've done this throughout the whole entire pandemic time, okay? During the MCO and all that, we've done a lot, okay? Experiential workshop where we have like sound sessions, sound meditation, meditations and healing, okay? All right, with minimal theory, but we'll talk about, okay, this particular topic about restore and replenish a transformation in the dark, because the new moon of this solar eclipse is in the dark, where we see darkness of things, all right? So if you are thinking that you can join us, okay, now, I do not have a link here, okay, for you to straight away sign up, because it's only limited to the first 30 students, because I have a limited space, okay? We will be there, me, Kong Yu, and the team will be there, okay, to do this whole workshop with you. It's happening on the 20th of April, okay, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Physical workshop. It's in Taman Tun. Once you sign up, we will share with you the venue and what are the things to prepare yourself with, okay? It's only limited to 30 students, okay? All right, but I think roughly probably about 10 has been taken up, okay, by our Soul's Journey students, okay? So if you're interested, do in a way scan this QR code or WhatsApp, okay, to our company number, which Nicole will be handling, right, to check on availability. First come, first serve. I think probably we have about 22 more seats left, okay? So if you're interested, it is 180 ringgit, okay? This is a special eclipse, in a way, workshop. So if you're interested, okay, do join us, okay, because me and my team will be there for you, okay? We won't disclose what other things we'll be doing, but there will be meditations, there will be sound session, okay, involved, and there will be a lot of different sound tools, okay, to help us, okay, in a way, to go back to the past, okay, at the same time, in a way, to manifest the future, all right? So this will be the first workshop, okay? If you can join, do join us on this workshop. Okay, but we only have 30 seats, okay? So if you're fast, it will be good, but if you cannot get it, yes, I know, some of you have already booked, okay, your seats, all right? So I really hope, okay, that I can actually see some of you personally, okay, on this workshop itself. And then we also have, I know many of you here wanted the tingsha, okay? So during the eclipse is the best time for us to actually do energy cleansing of the house, because all portals are open. We want to actually use a high vibration, okay, sound tool, okay, to clear all stagnant energy. So when the portal is open, we clear the stagnant energy itself so that it raises the vibration, okay, since there's no blockages, okay, right, on those dates itself. So you can actually get the tingsha now. The new stock has arrived, limited stock, because the previous batch itself, we all sold out. Now, I'm still selling it at the old price, whereas this new stock, okay, the price has raised, okay? The price has risen, but in a way, we still honor, I have 50 left, okay? only self-collection. Please don't ask us to do delivery.
Yeah.
So if you are in Singapore, if you are somewhere else, okay, right, you want to buy, you can buy reserve, but we won't ship it out to you. You wait until you have friends to go to Singapore or other places, or you are planning to come to Malaysia, to KL, and do your self-collection.
That's right.
Okay?
We've got inquiries from people from all over the world,
Yes.
even in Malaysia itself, right, coming from different states and all that. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's for self-collection
Yes,
only,
because-
so do
yeah.
take note. Yeah.
Because this is our peak period. It's like a lot of things happening, a lot of preparations that we are doing for the upcoming eclipse seasons and all that. We don't have time. You know, it's like I don't have a big team here. It's all us, okay? And it's like I don't have time to go and like ship these things and check how much is it worth, how much does it cost to ship to you. If you think that you can actually, in a way, self-collect, you can get this. This is a very good, high-quality tincture. I'm going to try, in a way, the sound with you here. Now, I mean, it's not doing justice to the sound through Facebook Live, okay? But if you're using headphone, please remove your headphone now because it can be quite high-pitched. And we need the high pitch because we want to loosen up energy in every corner of your house so that when you get this, okay, on the eclipse on the 20th or the 19th night, you can start doing this. On the 20th daytime, you can start doing the tincture all over your house, every corners of your house to release the stagnant energy. And this tincture can last you a lifetime. The string might not. So if you think that the string, if worn out, you just change to another string. But the tincture will last you a lifetime. I believe that every household should at least have one, okay? So when you strike it together, okay, you listen, okay, to the sound. It can be quite loud. So those of you with headphones on, please remove it, all right? If you can hear. And you have to hear to the vibrations of the sound, that twirling impact. To let me know if you can hear it, because it's like I'm not sure whether how the sounds travel through Facebook Live. I just want to show you. But if you in a way listens it to live, okay, you can feel the vibration. Right? The thing is, the tincture has a very high frequency and high pitch, okay? Now, do not actually use it near your ear, okay? So when you have to do the clearing, it will be good if you can actually in a way use a earplug. Okay, cover your ear, protect it, okay, all right, especially if you want to hit it hard, okay, because you see, your body can even feel the vibrations, and then after that, you just have to hit it, okay, and then just go around your house, especially the corners, okay, you can move it, you can use it like this, or after you have like in a way click it together, you can also rub it near like this, okay, so in a way, it will actually create a different sound vibration. All right, so this is 198, okay, inclusive of SST. If you want, okay, we have 50 here, should be enough lah. The last time I think we have like what, 25 or 30,
something.
it's all sold out very fast, okay. So if you want, remember, self-collection. Don't ask us to ship it out, all right. We can keep for you, all right, until you come and collect it, all right. But please, we won't ship it out for you. All right, so yeah, okay, that's all. Okay, I really hope to see you, especially those of you who can join me physically on the 20th of April workshop, okay? The venue will be in Taman Tun, all right? So I really hope, okay, we have 30 seats there. Let us work together with you, okay? Right, roughly it is 8 to 10, okay? Probably depending on the time and all that, okay? Maybe we might prolong it, really depends. But I want to work with small groups of students, okay? Because if I do it online, it will be more than 100 sign-ups, okay? We have done it, okay? Right, every new moon, full moon and all that, we have done this before, okay? But I want to do it physically, okay, because the energy is getting more and more intense, okay, and I guess this physical workshop will have better results and better fulfillment for us as well. All right, so thank you so much, okay, for your time. Remember, if you have not helped us to share this session out, please do share this session. Now remember, if you want to get the tincture or sign up for the workshop, you have to WhatsApp us. First come, first serve, okay? WhatsApp us, make your payment, and we'll reserve for you, because the workshop, we only have probably 20 plus seats left, all right? And the tincture, yeah, we have 50 lah, should be enough, okay? So like John, if you want, John Vega, you want to reserve, buy, pay for it, and we will keep it aside for you. So whenever you come to KL or anyone goes to visit you wherever you are, okay, you can probably ask them to actually, in a way, help you to carry it.
That's right, Maggie. So make sure you WhatsApp in.
Yeah,
right?
please WhatsApp, okay, because no reservations will be in a way like looked after upon through Facebook messages, okay. If you want WhatsApp in, deal with Nicole, okay? Let her send the contact details and also, in a way, the bank-in details to you, okay? Check availability first, okay? And then after that, make your payment and we will reserve the tingsha's or the slot for you. So really looking forward, okay, to see Leanne. I'll see you next week, okay, in person. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have not helped us to share this session out, please do help us to share this session out, okay, on your Facebook so that it can actually help to reach more people. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.